Today we have a 2008 Toyota Tundra with the 5.7 liter engine, aka the 3UR FE engine. We'll be replacing the alternator, which is located down there. First thing we're going to do is disconnect the negative side of the terminal, and we're going to lift up the vehicle just to expose the alternator. With the vehicle in the air, you're going to first remove the cover here, or a front skid plate. They're held in place usually by 5 number 12s. We only had held in by 3, 2 in the front, 1 in the middle, but there usually will be some on those 2 brackets there. So that will expose everything we're going to work with up here. And with a 14 on our tensioner bolt right there and our ratchet in the off position, we're going to push this down to release tension from the drive belt. And I do have a locking pin, or it's really just a pin, but you can use like a small number 10 bolt just to lock that tensioner in place. So let's go ahead and do that, and then just leaving the drive belt in place, we're just going to pull it off the alternator pulley and then get to our next steps. Okay guys, so with that belt removed, that takes out one step. We're going to come to the side here. Notice that I did turn the wheel all the way. You can take it off as well. I just did that, and then there'll be 2 little plastic tabs right here that you just pop off, and you can swing this up or take it off all the way. All this does is gives you a little more access to this area here. I mean, you could reach around and work it around it, but just for this purpose, oh wow, it was staying until I messed with it. So all right, so now what we're gonna do is, okay, wow, it came back down, is unplug the alternator right there, as well as remove the bolt or the nut that holds the wire to the alternator to the battery. So let's get all that removed, and then we'll get to dismounting the alternator out. Okay guys, so I've disconnected one cable there for the alternator, and then with a number 10 nut holding the power cable there, I've already removed that. So before we can actually remove the alternator, we have to remove the power steering pump. This is usually why I love Toyota, because they don't do stuff like this to change things. You don't remove nonsense, but apparently this one they decided to make our life a little more difficult, which not really, because the power steering pump is held in by 2 14 millimeters. One you can kind of see right up there at the top. You have to go through right there. You have to go through the pulley in order to access these bolts here, but there's only 2. The second one, as you can see, is right there where my extension is. I kind of just put it there so y'all can see. So pretty much what we're gonna do is remove those 2 bolts. I'm probably just gonna remove the one where my extension is, and then loosen that top one to see if we could swing it in order to access the 2 points on the alternator there to take it out. So let's go ahead and get that bolt removed and loosen that one and see what we can do. Okay guys, so there's really no way around it. You do just have to take off the power steering pump, or at least, unmount it. Now if the high pressure line was not attached, I could have angled it upwards with that bolt right there that goes across. However, since I still have it attached, all I'm gonna do is just take those 2, I took those 2 bolts out holding it, and we're just gonna push it to the side, and it'll expose that nut right there and that bolt back there. And there will be 2 more down here, one right here and the other one right here. Now I believe these are all, it's like 12 millimeters. So let's go ahead and get those off, and we should be able to get our alternator out. Slight correction, y'all, these are all 14s that hold the alternator. As you can see, I pushed my power steering pump forward and kind of just stayed right there so we can access that bolt and that nut right there. However, there is a small bracket held in by number 12, that right there, that holds onto the alternator. Let's go ahead and just remove that off, so all these little hoses can be free from the alternator, and then we'll start removing the 4 14s off of the alternator. Okay guys, so my alternator is free. I'm going to try to swing it out this direction here from the bottom. I believe you can also do it from up top. Because I did not remove the power steering pump, I'm just going to leave it right there. I'm just going to try to get it from the bottom, but let's see what happens. Alright guys, giving you a little view of how it's being removed. Couldn't get it from this way, so we went around, fought like no other and cursed like no other because I didn't remove the power steering pump, and it literally gets in my way. So we're basically gonna fight and get it from this angle if you don't remove the pump itself. Oh, looks like my flashlight got it jammed, but pretty much where it's coming out, and I guess going in the same. Now I also removed the stud here for where the nut set. Some E10 right here, just took it out, give me a little extra room, so you can get that alternator out and get the new one put in. All right, so now that I have the alternator out, I'm not gonna lie, this gave me hell. Mainly it was because of the sensor right here. But whatever, screw that. So pretty much, I removed the stud that was right here that held the 14mm nut into the alternator. Just use the E10, pull it out. And I took off the bracket right here that had the, also unplug this, that had like the entire wire harness right here. It's a number 12 bolt right on the side on the other end. Right there, so it's probably like 10 times easier if we take out the pump, but I don't want to mess with any fluids right now, so there we go. Now I'm gonna go ahead and try to slide it back in the same way I took it out, cursing and everything, obviously. And we'll get to the next step. Probably be easier if I took this off, but anyways, let's get the new alternator in. Okay guys, so my alternator surprisingly went in like 10 times easier than coming out. Stood it up where the pulley was facing upward and just literally dropped it in and turned it. So I guess taking this off the power steering pump gave me a little extra room I needed to push it out the way. So should have did that from the beginning. Should have noticed that, but it's doable doing it without removing the power steering pump. So let's get this bolted down and get ready to finish up. All right guys, so my new alternator is in. Went ahead and threw the all these brackets right here back on. Don't forget the bracket up front for the alternator there as well. And that's pretty much it. The two 14s on the bottom and the one 14 bolt, one 14 nut on top. So now all I'm gonna do is just slide my power steering pump back into place, tighten that down, and we'll be pretty much done with this. So that's pretty much it. You take it out, just put it back in the same way. So thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, more videos to come.